Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. Today's video is about a post-Edo spear guide. So, after the events of Satan, the Oshu Highway, and now we're all the way at Lucifer, we're at the Lunar Tail, all that stuff. The methods of getting stronger have changed for almost every class. By that I mean there are new places to get mags, there are new weapon types, there are new things to build for, all that new stuff. So I figured it's time to make an update on how to, get good as a certain class. So I'm a spear, so people primarily come to me for spear stuff. So let's begin there. As you can see, I have the three gargoyle weapons on me. I'm level 120 now, and oh, hi, prosecutor. So yeah, like I got, my star staff. I had my staff forever, and then the three gargoyle weapons. Nova, Rhyme, and Storm. So each of these weapons are essentially what players are going to be building towards. Now there are also Dragon Arc weapons, but I feel the only really good Dragon Arc weapon is the Datenryu Night Sky, which on PS4, unless you have already stocked up 1,000 Idama, it's not possible for you to get it realistically without you spending $1 billion to get 1 or 2 Idama a run of awarding. Like, we just don't have an Idama farm right now, so with the dailies gone, we can't do anything about it. That said, the 3 gargoyle weapons and potentially a Dragon Arc weapon or 2 are what you'd want to aim for. But in my mind, you want to get the gargoyles first to beat the Dragon Arcs anyway, so... Hi, Momoka. Thanks for the heart. So... these are level 115 weapons. On average, most people who, not effectively, but, they're keeping up with the meta will be around 115 at this point. The level cap is 120, so it's really hard to get there, but it's pretty easy to get to 115 with all the different avenues we have. So, let's just open up my build and we'll talk about that. So, I'm wearing, the ideal spear build. Not the ideal, but it is ideal, but at the same time, it's the staple build. So, before, when I made my previous spear guide, it said, get a literature, get a Gemini, get an Aries, get another literature, stuff like that. I know, I saw you too, Sleep. Now I'm in my beach house on the bed. But, so before it was like, okay, these are the mags you get in the story. It's easy to play spear up to that point. So those guides that I made before, pretty much pre-Edo, those were using the knowledge I had before we got our updates and all that, just to get you up to par, get you good, because once you're there, you can just constantly improve. There's nothing wrong with those guides. But now, what you'd want as a spear is 3 Thunderquake Magatamas, and then a 4th mag beat, either a Gemini or an Aries, a Tauros, an Element Mag, whatever you need, but primarily you're going to want 3 Thunderquakes. So I've only really got good ornaments on 1 Thunderquake, which is this one here, that has Slice, Crit, HP, 21 Slice, pretty good mag. It's got Crit, that's what really matters. I've gone through 4 Thunderquakes trying to get good ornaments, and I've only gotten 1 with good ornaments so far. This one got double SP. This one got Dex and HP. So it's not the best, but at least it's extra stat HP SP. The crit, I'll live, And then my Gemini is really good. 12 crit, 6 Dex, and then HP SP. Really helps me out, so it's pretty good. So generally, that's what you'd want to build for, is 3 Thunderquakes, a Gemini, accessories or whatever, and then... most players will have a staff to support their teammates, rapid storm meditation, all that goodness. Resurrection, that's a big thing now. Resurrection comes from skill cards from the Neon Koropan. Very important. And then you have the 3 gargoyle weapons. Now, for spear players, the rhyme is like the most beautiful thing ever. You know, it's got 60 ice, 40 rain. We love water dragon. We love ice blossom. And we have the skill card for water dragon 6 and 7 and ice blossom. This weapon is the easiest weapon to build for spear with skill cards and stuff. So, you know, I highly recommend all these weapons, gargoyles. Like, once you get the gargoyles, then you're pretty much ready for the rest of the game. So, they're great. How did you get the gargoyle weapons? Asked Momoka. So, to get the gargoyle weapons is a long process, which is a good question, though. So, to get the gargoyle weapons, you need to start on normal. So, there's 3 warding gargoyles, right? Or warding dungeons. You have Sleet Sword, Levin Lance, and Infernal Gargoyle. And you fight them all in normal. It takes 1 energy apiece. And then you should only really fight them... You know, if you have your 105 weapons from Edo, you'll be fine, because that's natural progression, 105s. I had crosses at the time, so it was pretty easy. So normal should be a breeze. And then when you do normal, you know, you go... Who is at my house? I thought someone was... Hi, Yuri, do you want to come sit on the bed? It just showed up. So... But to get the gargoyle weapons, you fight them on normal... You build like 20 Onino Dachis and you smelt them all to like 50. And then you fight them on normal, get your recipe, get like a bunch of materials. You build the level 85 version. Then you don't use the level 85 version, by the way. But then you go to hard, and that's where the real battle begins. You're going to need like crosses to beat that, and you know, skill force buff helps a lot too. So most people will start on Levin Lance or whatever you have element for. Since we're talking spear users, right? Spear users will have like nothing to fight Levin Lance with. Like we have Revolving Blast, which hits nothing, and etc. etc. Verdant Storm is a good use. And then, so what you do is, if you're a spear, you have a lot of Water Dragon and Ice Blossom. Those are our favorite skills. You kill Infernal on hard, and then you know you kill them, and then you're gonna need friends. Obviously, I'm getting a little off topic here, but this is what we did. So we all just picked one that we were all able to beat. They picked Levin Lance because he's the easiest, but I didn't have much to offer, so I sort of got carried through Levin Lance with my buddies. And then I ended up building my Storm, because Lyra got their Storm, and then I had enough drops and I made mine. And then after we got our Storm, which is Lightning, the one I'm holding now, so Lightning and Mountain and all that, so it's a pretty good weapon. I use this, we used our Storms to beat Sleet, and that made it so easy. So, but basically, once you get a Hell version, you use that to beat the next one. So you use Storm to beat Sleet, and then Sleet to beat Nova, and then if you started on Nova, you use Nova to beat Storm, etc. It's like Pokemon. Use one to beat the other, but not the other way around. So that's what we did to get these weapons. Now, Dark Carmo says, what if I don't have friends? Well, you do have friends. It's just, you know, I'm already done with Gargoyle, so I don't want to go back. That's another big problem, is that most of your friends that have their stuff won't go back. They're on the next thing. So if you don't have friends, I don't know. That sounds tough. Yeah, it is pretty tough, Mocha. But, you know, I'm just talking about the future, what the ideal thing you want to do is, what you have to do to get strong. I mean, if I can do it, a lot of people can do it. So, I mean, if you don't have friends, I mean, there's always people asking me to do gargoyles, so I'm pretty sure they'd want to ask you too. I get asked like, hey, you want to do gargoyle every day? And I'm just like, I got no energy. And they're like, why? Because I'm like, I'm doing the next thing. You know, it's just natural progression. So, but that's an ordeal for another day, you know, trying to find a team and all that stuff. I mean, we have party recruit, and God knows how many people want their gargoyles and need it, and etc. etc. So, like I was saying, we did get new skill cards, and that's an important thing that made me want to make these new videos. So I know this spear guide, you know, we're getting a little off topic, but it's all right, I think. But with the new skill cards, what they present is Stone Spire Barrier 7, Revolving Blast 7, and Water Dragon 7. Now, it's almost blasphemous for me to say this, but later on I was like, we didn't really need a Water Dragon 7 card. Yes, it's an awesome skill and I love the move and all that stuff, but we are like the only class that has a skill card set for the same element twice. Because we got Water Dragon 6 and Water Dragon 7. Yes, it's awesome to have both of them, but in like the back of my mind, after I saw the Whirlwind Thrust 7 skill buff, I was like, I want a Whirlwind Thrust 7 skill card. Like, that's the only one left. Like, on my Nova, I would love to have Revolving 7, Whirlwind 6, Whirlwind 7. I think that would be so good, but that didn't happen. So, you know, there is this quest you can do in Oshu, by the way, that you just complete Mina Bokaku and Suiyu Forest like 5 times each within a certain time period in each dungeon, and they'll give you the skill card for Revolving Blast 6, and then they'll give like the Sword skill card for Death Storm Blast or something. But Whirlwind Thrust 6 is like a really good skill to have, so I like it. Originally, my Nova had Revolving 5 and Wind Thrust 5 and 6, and then I threw on 7, hoping it would take away 5, but it took away Wind Thrust 5, so it's still a pretty good weapon. So Revolving, and then Thrust. And then I got double Verdant Storm on it, because the Wind element is just great. And, you know, it took forever to level this move, but I did it. So that's how I built my Nova. Other people will say, no, you gotta have triple Revolving Blast, throw on 7. But I don't, like, honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of Revolving, because it just takes, like, 3 years to use it. When, like, Thrust is just, boom, done. You hit something. And then Verdant Storm is a good charge move. On the right enemy, you can do millions of damage, so that's great. Then, like I said on the rhyme, you have Ice Blossom, Water Dragon, and then, you know, Embers, Glacial Lance. I'm not sure if Tidal Wave is a good replacement for Embers, but the Lance is very useful for it. On the Nova, though, it is it's really up to you if you want double Lance or double Verdant. Some people will make 2 Novas, but that's really up to them. And then on the Storm, now, I'm going to get to this in a second, but I'll get to it right now. The Storm is different. Like, before I had Water Dragon 7 from a skill change, before we had skill cards, and then I had Ice Blossom 7, and then I had Thundercrack 7. So, it was pretty cool. I really like the skills on it. It's my strongest one. It came out 1900 attack. The others are like 18 something. And then it just has Embers and Thunderlance. So, one thing I gotta mention is that our Thunderquake Magatama, like all the 105 Magatamas, like I'm gonna get to a video on every class, the 105s all have a positive element and a negative element attached to them. So as the name suggests for Spear, the Thunderquake Magatama is plus 10 Lightning, negative 5 Mountain. So I have 3 Thunderquakes, so I innately have a plus 30 to Mountain. So the Storm gives me, or not Mountain, I'm sorry, a plus 30 to Lightning. So the Storm gives me 60 Lightning. So altogether, I have 90 Lightning every time I'm holding this weapon. But it also gives me 40 Mountain. But my mags will turn that 40 Mountain into 25 Mountain. It's still a positive Mountain element, but it's not as much as like another class would have for Mountain element, whatever. Like, basically what I'm saying is that when you use the 105 mags, you're going to lose one of your elements. Like, it's going to be not your desired move. So, for Spear, it's Mountain. So, we got Stone Spire Barrier, and Stone Spire is actually a really good move. I really like it. But it's our negative move, so I can only ever use it on this weapon. Or a weapon that has a lot of Mountain later on, let's say. So, you're not going to see much use for Stone Spire Barrier, aside from the Storm and things that we don't even have yet. And then Thundercrack is just the best element. And then Water Dragon is just like really good coverage, and I love Water Dragon, so Water Dragon 7 is great. So it's very easy to replicate my storm. That said, embers isn't always the best move, and some people will want to get rid of it. However, you cannot use extraction tickets to get rid of embers. You have to overwhite it by putting normal Ogies onto it. And one strategy we've found that helps for that is, like if you, let's say you made your Omen of Doom cross, right? So that's still a really good weapon. If you made your cross, you're ready for gargoyles. So let's say you have your Omen of Doom cross, and you don't want the Ogie on it, because you can peel off Satan Ogies, like the Purple Lightning Rain 4, 5, and 6, like from the Cross Star and the normal version. They can all be peeled off. And what you can do is, you can, like, let's say you have, let's say you want to get double lance on your storm, but you want to get rid of embers. So what you do is, before you even, like, let's say you have to level up the storm for, like, the lance first, right? So my lance is 43. When it hits level 50, I'm probably going to start thinking about what I'm going to do. But until then, it's good just to throw on lance and play with it. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to have to extract the lance, because you don't want to play with it. Summer festival's here, time now, you cab to books. Yeah, I heard about the PC Summer Festival. It's really cool. They get lots of cool stuff. Genesis, you need to calm down, Genesis. But, so what we do is, you know, like if you have a lot of extraction tickets, like some people, now all the Ogies you get from Unit 1, they'll give them to you. What I would do is throw on 2 Ogies that you have a lot of. Now this is only for people who have a lot of Ogies. Like let's say you have a lot of Ogie 4 for Spear. Ogie 4, like it's a mountain move, so you'll only ever see use for it on the Storm. Even then, some people would say just use Eternal Thunder, because the element's just better. So, let's, like, an Ogie card you have a lot of that you don't really need, and for most classes that is Ogie 4. Like Sword, it's the ice move and all that stuff. So, you know, for this weapon, what I'll end up doing is I'll extract away my lance, because I don't want to waste lance. Lances are hard to get. And then I'll throw on, like, Ogie 4, and then we'll try and see what, you know, until it overwrites embers, and then at that point I just extract one of the 4s away and throw on lance. Or if I want double lance, you extract both of them away and throw on double lance. You could also be really risky and ballsy and just try to throw a second lance onto it, but I feel like you'll just end up losing one of your lance Ogies and have to put more money in the game to get it back. So this is just my opinion. Not in my class. Amaya is life. Yes, for Dark Harmo, you know, for bow users, when we get to them, Amaya's punishment is great, so you wouldn't do it with that. But for bow, you'd probably do it with Ogie skill card 1, right? Because Infernal Blitz or Aerial Blitz is garbage. Or you could even do it with Tidal Wave, or not Tidal Wave, but Aqua Bubble. What is that move called? Aqua Hydro Cannon, Water Cannon. I think it's Water Cannon. Evax, this is my house. I live here. I claimed this property as my own a long time ago. But, you know, point being, whatever Ogie card your class is, yeah, it's Water Cannon. But whatever, or not Water Cannon, it's what? Is it? Maybe, I don't care. But anyway, you just pick an Ogie that's not really good, and you just throw it on and off, and it's really easy to do it with the Satan Ogies. You don't really buy anything for them. Because you could just, like, throw on... If Den Husbando is outside, then it's my house. What? This is my house. I've been here forever. You saw Aerial Blitz Sublime and it's actually useful? I suppose a Sublime would have to be useful. But until that point, you know, like, for Spear we have Spirit Blast Geki. We don't really care about normal Spirit Blast either. But, you know. Anyway, so, back to what I was saying about building Spear, because we're getting distracted with the chat and stuff. You know, with the Lance Ogis, you just throw on Ogis you don't care, extract them away, throw on Lance, evolve it, throw on second Lance, you're done. Or you could go Lance Eternal Thunder, or Lance Upending Spear. Now I'm thinking of experimenting with Lance Upending Spear personally, because I have a lot of the Ogi cards for it, and I like the move. So I might go Lance Upending, and if it doesn't work, I can extract it and throw on another Lance. It really doesn't matter. So that's going to be fun. And then you can do the same for the Nova, the Rhyme, whatever you want. If Tidal Wave doesn't work, you can throw on a second Glacial Lance. It's all really up to you. Whatever you have to work with, whatever your budget is, you know how it is. So, the most important part, which I should have just been the main focus of this, hi meme, is some classes have a new way to get Magatamas to build the Thunderquakes. However, I'm starting with Spear because that's what I am, and Spear does not get that any sort of advantage at all between updates. You know, to make the Thunderquake Magatama, you need, let's go talk to Kaguya just so we can look. You need the Sagittarius, Hi Nguyen Lee. So, you need, it's not your house, but you need the Sagittarius, Cancer, Leo, Cockatoo, and Log Magatamas. So if I go to crafting, you know, I can't make one. I've made a couple, but I don't have any Leos. So, you know, Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius, Log, Cockatoo, and then gems are pretty standard. You just farm them in Minor Delusions for Scarlet, and Myrtles in Mountain of Thorns. So the location to get Cockatoo what is this place? This is Tanegashima Nguyen. Or I'm going to call you Lee for now. So, or is it Le? I don't know. So to get the Cockatoo, you go to where I am, Tanegashima, and you do House of Hinawa, and you fight the cat, and if you do it like 20 times, you'll get a Cockatoo, like, guaranteed. They're not really hard to get, you just go do the cat dungeon. Log Magatamas, you have to farm Wara Bazooka on 4-man hard, and you run that for about a day, and you'll probably get 5 logs, if your name is Lyra, because that's all he gets is logs, and he doesn't need them. Sagittarius, you're going to get it from bargains at Moroku level 27, and you just shift up your bargains till Sagittarius shows up. I have like 32 of these things. I don't worry about them at all. Now, the hardest thing that Spear has to do is Cancer and Leo. And the Cancer and Leo mag, there's only 2 locations you can really go to really farm them. I said really a lot there, but it's really important. So, the Cancer mag, you know, I have, what, 4 of these left? I have 4 of them. And the Leo, they both have like the same drop rate, because you can farm them at the same time. So it's like a real mag farm. You have to go to either Cave of Naki Sawame or Room of Rights 5-man. If you go to Room of Rights 5-man and you do the infinite Daruma trick with the trap and just kill 3 or 4 of them at a time every time they spawn, summon more of them, you just do this for like 2 hours a day and you might see a Leo or a Cancer. It's actually the best rate dungeon for Leo Magatama. However, I find the method kind of annoying. I don't like just walking back and triggering traps and having to be all specific and mechanized, sort of. So what I do is Cave of Naki Sawame, which is a dungeon in Izumo where as long as you don't kill the egg sacs with the flies, like, you can just kill flies forever, but as long as 1 egg sac is alive per area, flies will spawn infinitely, and then you and a buddy can go in and kill flies for an hour, and mags will just you know, they'll just rain down every 10-15 minutes. You might get a mag. Like, it's really good. Like, I think I've gotten at most once 12 mags in an hour, which is a lot. And then sometimes I'll get one. But, you know, that's where I've gotten all my cancers minus one in my entire life. I got one cancer in Byakko Cavern, and then the rest were all there. So I've gotten I've gotten 8 cancers in my time, and I've gotten 4 Leos. Leos for me don't drop, for some players they do. It's all just RNG, but as long as you keep trying, you get them. Now, one final little bit of advice for what you have to do to like play spears. So, you know, basically get to Edo, just a little story, like quick 2 seconds. Like get a rose, like, you know, use a rose maiden or get carried through Edo. At this point, doesn't matter. You know, build a 105 Hio Tengu, build a Geno Buster, turn it into a Brigandia, you'll be set. If you got a Brigandia, you'll be fine. Use the Brigandia to get the cross. Great. You've got your cross. Cool. Satan's really easy to farm now. Don't worry about him. And then use the cross to get the Gargoyle 110s. If you need to build a 110 to get a 115, it's not the end of the world, but it's advised to only build the 115s. And then, yeah, you build the Gargoyles, and then you're good. Once you have the Gargoyles, you're pretty much up to par. You'll be using them for a long, long time. And then after the Gargoyles, you can be adventurous, go after the Dragon Arcs if you want. And then at that point, you're caught up with our current update in power-wise. And then for the mags, you know, you just do what I said earlier. Spend like half your life in dungeons and just pray that they drop. And when they do, you'll be happy. So then, after you get the Thunderquakes, what do you ornament them with? Honestly, before you start getting really experimenty with them, just like as a rule of thumb, basically for all weapon types except for maybe wand, you'd want to ornament your 105 mags with the Faded Contractor Ornamentation. So I've done it, and that's the one that gives you HP, SP, Slice Element, and Critical. And the most important thing you're going to want is HP, SP, Crit. If you had all of them HP, SP, Crit, HP, SP, Crit, you would just be really awesome. You'd have like infinite resources, and you'd always crit, which would be double your damage, because the 105 mags have added critical force. So when you have 3 of them, all your criticals will hit for double damage, as opposed to with base crit force, they would hit for 1.7 times. So let's just go to ornamentation for a quick second. I have an attack star here. I can just click that. That's the bow one. So you'd go down to Faded Contractor. For Faded Contractor, you need an embroidered cushion, a burnt talisman, and gypsum. Gypsum is easily farmed in secluded forest, which is also a great place to farm your Vanguard stuff, to feed your Vanguard. So you'll get tons of gypsum, don't worry about that. Burnt talisman, you'll get tons of burnt talisman when you're farming for your log mag, so don't worry about that. And then embroidered cushion, just farm Yakumo Temple. You'll get money and just steal attack or just kill the Daruma till it pops out. Easy peasy. So this ornamentation here, like I can't scroll down to look at the things, but it comes with up to 5 to 8 criticals. So, you know, if you've got crit bolt times, minimum you get 10, maximum you get 16. On average, you'll get around 12 to 14 to 15. You know, 15, 16 being amazing, 14 being great, 12 being alright, and 10 being, well, it's 10 crit. Awesome. So, you know, that's good. And then, what you don't want from this is the 2 decks. The 2 to 4 decks. But, you know, HP, SP, Slice, and Crit, great. Most people will want, on average, Crit, Slice, HP, Crit, Slice, SP. Because for Spear, you know, we have like 5, 6 Slice moves. We got Ice Blossom, Stone Spire, Barrier. I think Stone Spire is Slice, I'm not sure. And then we have Revolving Blast. And then you have Levin Lance as well. I don't know if I should be productive on Onigiri or mass level on L sword until my stamina is gone. Help me. I mean, this is Onigiri stuff. That's what the channel's about. I mean, everyone should get good. If you want to, I don't know how the stamina works in that, but if it's time-based, maybe you should use up your stamina, and then while you're waiting for it to come back, just farm mags. That's what I'd advise. But yeah, you just get this ornamentation. Always, always, always use a band-aid when ornamenting 105s, by the way. And see what you get. So, you know, honestly, what you'd want is crit, slice, HP or SP. So that's what I would suggest. There are many other ornamentations. I tried to get like another one and it didn't work out good for me, and I had to build another 105 just to repair it. And if you ever get a bad 105 mag, it's not the end of the world, because it's still a mag that gives you 100 skill force, element, crit force, you know, all that good stuff. And at this point, you don't wear the Chiami anymore because it counter affects these mags, but that should go without saying at this point, because no high level players wear it. What else am I gonna say? Should we use boost when mag farming? Now, that's an interesting topic. So it really depends. So if you're just by yourself mag farming, well, honestly, you need to be in a body party, at least 4 to 5 people for or no, 2 people Kavanaki Swame, 5 people Rumor Rights. I mean, 2-person minimum. You know, it all depends on what your mags require. But if you're in a dungeon like killing infinite flies with a buddy and you're just both going at it, you're not talking in a party or anything, it's almost dangerous to use a boost because there'll be too many items on the ground, and it can cause lag, and I've had some people actually lose some mags because their game crashes. So use a boost at your own discretion, only if you can tell your buddy, it's like, hey, it's lagging, I see a mag, can you stop killing? Because that happens, and it's horrible. I know a friend who's lost a Leo, and she was not happy. So, you know, that's a good question, though. So generally, when I mag farm, it'll be like, I'll do it on login. I used to do it every day on login for an hour, just for that extra boost, and then when I had a lot of boosts from a campaign, OC campaign, I'd pop a 200 or a 100, whatever I had at the time. So, I think that's going to do it for my spear guide for now. I gotta go, but later on in the day I will post other guides, maybe for bow and twin and all the other ones that I know. I should know all of them, so. And one final note, you're going to get your Thunderquake recipe really easy because it's in Mina Bokyaku, and people run that for experience. So I will catch you guys later.